So let us start with Mackey's equation using PSD design data book. Now, if you open your PSD design data book, then on page 7.34, page number 7.34 of PSG design data book, Mackey's equation is written, and it is written like this: mu is equal to 33.25 divided by 10 raised to 10 into the bracket Zn by P into the bracket D by C plus K. So, guys, this is Mackey's equation. And what does Mackey's equation tell us? It tells us about mu. It tells us about coefficient of friction in design of bearings. And you know, mu is very important in design of bearings because if coefficient of friction is more, there will be more power loss, right? So if the friction is less, there will be less power loss. Hence, to determine the loss of power in the bearing, you should understand how much is the coefficient of friction mu. So here you can see from this whole equation that coefficient of friction mu for full lubricated bearings, we are talking about 360-degree journal bearings, hydrodynamic bearings. It is the function of three variables. You can see this is the first variable, Zn by P, where what is Z? Absolute viscosity of lubricant in kg per meter second. What is N? Speed of journal in RPM. What is P? Bearing pressure. Right? So, coefficient of friction, here you can see this mu is function of first variable Zn by P. Same way it is the function of the second variable D by C, where capital D is the diameter of journal and capital C is the diametral clearance. And it is function of L by D ratio also. Length of the bearing divided by diameter of the journal. So, what I'm trying to say is that coefficient of friction mu is the function of these three variables, Zn by P, D by C, L by D. These are all dimensionless number. So we can say that coefficient of friction depends on Zn by P, D by C, and L by D. Moving ahead, why Zn by P is more important? Because it is also called as bearing characteristic number or Sommerfeld number. Bearing characteristic number is a dimensionless number, and this factor Zn by P helps us to predict the performance of the bearing. Since it helps us to predict the performance of the bearing, that's why bearing characteristic number or Zn by P is very important dimensionless parameter or dimensionless number. The coefficient of friction mu, that is the variation of this coefficient of friction mu with Zn by P, bearing characteristic number. This graph was plotted. You can see here mu is plotted on y-axis and bearing characteristic number Zn by P is plotted on x-axis, and this is obtained by Mackey brothers, S.A. Mackey and T.R. Mackey, in the actual test of friction that they have done. That's why if someone tells you what is Mackey's equation, you have seen that in your PSD design data book, 33.25 divided by 10 raised to 10 Zn by P into D by C plus K. So it is mu versus Zn by P. So Zn by P helps us to predict the performance of the bearing. If you see carefully at this graph, right, as the bearing characteristic number increases, you can see here the mu is reducing, but the minimum amount of friction occurs at A. Minimum amount of friction is occurring at this point A. And at this point, the value of bearing characteristic number is Zn by P is known as bearing modulus denoted by capital K. आपको यहाँ पे diagram में दिख रहा है capital K. This is the minimum mu at A, which means the bearing should not operate at this value of bearing modulus. It should not operate in this zone which I am highlighting. Bearing should not operate in this zone. Because if a slight decrease in the speed or slight increase in pressure will break the oil film and make the journal to operate with metal to metal contact. In short, the friction will happen, the oil film will break, heat will be generated, bearing will get destroyed. See, it's written, this will result in high friction, wear, heating. So in order to prevent such conditions, the bearing should be designed for Zn by P at least 3 times the minimum value of bearing modulus. 3 times bearing modulus K. Zn by P should be designed such that its value should be 3 times the bearing modulus K. Then only the bearing will not function in this zone, oil film will not break, and friction will not occur. I hope you understood what Mackey's brothers have done. They have done actual test of friction. They have plotted a graph of mu versus Zn by P, and they are telling that bearing characteristic number is a dimensionless parameter, and it is very important because it predicts the performance of the bearings. And graphically, they have shown how Zn by P is very important. Now, the coefficient of friction, mu, that we are talking, right? It is a function of these 3 parameters, like I told you, Zn by P, D by C, and L by D. This you should understand. So Mackey established experimental data. Based on experimental data, he established this equation of coefficient of friction, which is 0.326 Zn by P, D by C plus K. Now, the one which you see in your design data book and the one which you see here, there is hardly any difference. But we will be using this equation 0.326 Zn by P, D by C plus K. Why? How? I'll tell you when we are going to solve the numericals. So first let us know Z will be in kg per meter second, N will be in RPM, P will be in Newton per meter square, and K value should be 0.002. For all the L by D ratios, 0.75 to 2.8. So someone would have doubted that though in equation you are not able to see this L by D ratio, then how the coefficient of friction is dependent on this variable also? Why the equation is dependent on this variable also? So now you understood that it is dependent on L by D ratio also, because the value of this K depends on L by D ratio. So if the value is between 0.75 to 2.8, you should take the value of K as 0.002. Moving ahead, Raimondi-Boyd method is used for calculating coefficient of friction. Yes, but Mackey's equation is used only when bearings have large Sommerfeld numbers and when they are lightly loaded. Sommerfeld number is very large, greater than 0.15. S is greater than 0.15. You can see this, right? So when there is very large Sommerfeld numbers, you have to use Mackey's equation. Now, moving ahead, heat balance in hydrodynamic journal bearings, or someone might ask you a question in your university exam that explain the thermal consideration in journal bearing design. So we have to understand how much is the heat generated, how much is the heat dissipated. All these equations we have to understand. So this we are starting after Mackey's equation. We are now into the next topic, heat balance in hydrodynamic journal bearings or thermal consideration in journal bearing design. Both the questions have been asked in your GTU exams, university exams. So that's why I'm covering. Let us first go with the heat generated in bearing. This heat generated in bearing equation is also available on page 7.34 of PSD design data book. So you can find this equation on that page number. Hg is mu Wv, where you all know that mu is coefficient of friction, W is bearing load in Newton, and V is surface velocity in meter per second. So heat generated can be in watts or Newton meter per second. But we don't want the value in meter per second. If we want the value in mm per second, then you have to multiply it by 10 raised to 3. So mu Wv into 10 raised to 3, this much heat will be generated in bearing. Moving ahead, then how much will be the heat dissipated in the hydrodynamic journal bearing? These equations are not there in PSD design data book. But the other heat dissipation is there in PSD design data book that I will explain when we will solve the numericals. So this whole heat dissipation, you will have to learn it properly, understand it properly. So HD is given by CDA TB minus TA, where HD is heat dissipation. CD is the combined coefficient of radiation and convection. Unit is Weber per meter square degree C. Combined coefficient of radiation and convection, because the heat will be dissipated by two mediums, combined radiation and convection. So CD value for unventilated bearing, you have to take between 140 to 420 Weber per meter square per degree C, and for well ventilated bearing you have to take between 490 to 1400 Weber per meter square per degree C. This is not the sign of minus, this is written 2 from this value to that value. What if nothing is mentioned? Then you will consider well ventilated bearing. So you know now how you should select the value of combined coefficient of radiation and convection. What about A, projected area of bearing? And you know area of bearing is length into journal diameter, length of the bearing into the journal diameter or diameter of journal. Both the units will be in meter. So meter into meter, the unit is going to be meter square. Here you are not going to take the unit in mm, the value will be in meter. So meter into meter, meter square, that is the projected area of the bearing. What about this TB? It is the temperature of bearing surface in degree C. What about this TA? It is the temperature of surrounding air. A means air, B means bearing. So temperature of bearing surface is TB, temperature of air, surrounding air is TA, both in degree C. How will you find out that TB minus TA? TB minus TA you will find out as half into TO minus TA, where temperature of oil should be less than 60 degree C. Once we'll start solving the numerical, the better you will understand how to select the values, how to take the values and do the solution. But for now, you should understand what is heat dissipation, how to select the values of CD, how to select the values of TB minus TA. That's what is explained over here. Moving ahead. If temperature of oil film is higher than bearing, if higher, then bearing is cooled by circulating water through coils built in bearing, or oil itself can be circulated using a pump, and mass of oil required to remove the heat generated is given by this value, MOC dash delta T0. Very easy to remember, which you have learned during your fluid mechanics days, heat transfer days, MCP delta T. It's similar to that. MOC dash delta T0, where MO is mass of oil in kg per second. C, specific heat, is 1710 joule per kg degree C. Always this will be the value. I'll tell you how to select it from PSD design data book, but always this will be the value 1710 joule per kg degree C, specific heat of oil, and delta T0 is the difference between the inlet and outlet temperatures of oil in degree C. So guys, that is all about the thermal consideration in bearing or heat balance in the journal bearings, hydrodynamic bearings. Now coming on to the next topic, and it is many times asked in your university exams, explain the design procedure of hydrodynamic bearings. And all the numericals of Mackey's equation, you will have to follow this step-by-step procedure of hydrodynamic bearings. So if you think Mackey's equation is over, no, it is actually starting right now. This whole procedure of hydrodynamic bearings we will be doing with the help of Mackey's equation. So let us start with the hydrodynamic bearing. First step you should do is that you have to decide the L by D ratio from table. Table named, which table we are talking about? That is on page number 7.31, and that table is named as, I'll tell you, on page 7.31. If you'll open your PSD design data book, then the table is named as design practices. Design practices dash journal bearing. Right? So the first step is you have to select the L by D ratio, where L is the length of the bearing and capital D is the journal diameter. You all know that, right? For example, I'll tell you, most of the numericals will be based on centrifugal pump, and L by D ratio for centrifugal pump is 1.0 to 2.0. That you can find out from this table of design practices of journal bearing on page 7.31 of design data book. Once you have known the L by D ratio, then you can assume D if it is not given, and then find out L and D values. So how much to assume the value of D, how to calculate L and D, that we will do when we'll solve our first numerical. But for right now, you should understand that the first step is to decide the L by D ratio from the table. And that I've shown here. See, this is your page 7.31 of PSD design data book. We are talking about centrifugal pumps. So this is the value. And since we are talking about first step to select the L by D ratio, तो आप देख सकते हो for centrifugal pumps, L by D ratio आप select करोगे between 1.0 to 2.0. Simply you will select it between 1 and 2. Next step, we are going to calculate pressure. P is equal to W upon LD, where P is pressure, W is load, where L is length of the bearing, capital D is the diameter of the journal. So once you calculate this calculated pressure, you have to check if this calculated pressure is less than the allowable bearing pressure or the given pressure from the same table, which is available on page 7.31. So let me take you to that table. Yeah, this is the table on page 7.31. If we are talking about centrifugal pumps, where we had seen L by D ratio as 1 to 2.0, then see the allowable bearing pressure in kgf per centimeter square is 7 to 14. So whatever calculated pressure we have seen, that should be less than this allowable bearing pressure. Moving ahead, pressure that we will calculate will be in Newton per mm square. But you saw right now that in PSD design data book, the pressure is not in Newton per mm square, it is in kgf per centimeter square. Then to convert from kgf per centimeter square to Newton per mm square, you have to multiply kgf per centimeter square into 0.098065. So अभी आपने देखा था टेबल में सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप का अलाउेबल बेयरिंग प्रेशर था 7 to 14 kg per centimeter square. तो अगर मैं 7 kgf ले लूं तो 7 into ये वैल्यू से मल्टीप्लाई करूं 0.098, so I will get the value as 0.686, which is usually equal to 0.7 Newton per mm square. So what I'm trying to tell you in this second step is that once you calculate this pressure, you also have to check with this given pressure or allowable bearing pressure and see whether this calculated pressure is less than the given pressure, allowable bearing pressure, or sometimes it is also called as design pressure. If it is less than the design pressure, that is calculated pressure is less than the allowable bearing pressure or design pressure, then values of L and D are safe, they are correct. More you will understand when we'll solve one numerical. So remember this table, it is called as design practices of journal bearing. Most of our numericals will be on centrifugal pumps. So you should be knowing that its L by D value, L by D ratio value is 1 to 2. Its allowable bearing pressure is 7 to 14. and Zn by P value is 2844.5. Moving ahead. Next step, you have to calculate operating temperature. Usually operating temperature will be given to you. If it is given, then you should take that value. Otherwise, if it is not given, you have to assume it in the range of 26.5 degrees C to 60 degrees C for normal machineries like centrifugal pumps, that the example which we are taking now and then. But for high temperature machinery installations like steam turbines, the value of TO should be taken as 82 degrees C. So simply third step, you have to calculate operating temperature. If it is given, take that value. If it is not given, for centrifugal pumps, take it between 26.5 degrees C to 60 degrees C. That's it. Third step is done. Moving on to our fourth step. You have to calculate Zn by P, that is bearing characteristic number. Z is in kg per meter second, N is in RPM, and pressure is in Newton per mm square. Right? So once you calculate this bearing pressure, bearing characteristic number, this calculated Znp has to be compared with operating Znp value. The calculated bearing characteristic number Zn by P should be compared with operating Zn by P value, and calculated Zn by P value should always be less than the operating Zn by P values. Where is this operating Zn by P value? Again, on page 7.31, design practices table, you can find out the operating Znp value. Where is it? Let me show you. It is here. This is our operating Zn by P value. Operating Zn by P value. 2844.5. Now, you should understand that the values in PSG design data book are in kgf per centimeter square, in different other units. So for centrifugal pump, for PSG design data book, you saw right now that the value of operating Zn by P was 2844.5. But that value is 2844.5 when Z is in centipoise, N is in RPM, and P is in kgf per centimeter square. But the calculated Zn by P value that we are seeing, Z is in kg meter per second, N is in RPM, and pressure is in Newton per mm square. So I'll have to do the conversion, right? So since this is in centipoise, for 1 centipoise to Newton second per mm square, you have to multiply it into 10 raised to minus 9. And for conversion of kgf to Newton second per mm square, right now you saw you have to multiply it into 0.0986055, something like that, big values there. Let us not go deep into this. So if I want to do the conversion of this 2844.5, so first into 10 raised to minus 9 because I want to do the conversion of centipoise to Newton second per mm square, and divided by 0.098 because I want to do the conversion of kgf to Newton second per mm square. You will get the answer as 29 into 10 raised to minus 6. Or simply, just one thing you should do, you should multiply this 2844.5 into 10 raised to minus 2, which is 28.445, near about this value. So guys, I'll show you here in the table. In the table, you should understand that this 2844.5, actually it is 28.445 when I'll multiply it by 10 raised to minus 2. So consider this value as 28.445. Moving ahead. Now, you should remember that our first step was that we calculated our Zn by P value, and we are going to compare it with operating Zn by P value, and it should always, calculated value should always be less than operating Zn by P values. Step number 4 is done. Moving to the step number 5, you have to calculate bearing modulus K. Right? So bearing modulus K, you will find out by this formula, 1 by 3 into operating Zn by P value. And operating Zn by P value for centrifugal pump, you write now, so 28.445. So 1/3 of 28.445. Once you do this, whatever value of this bearing modulus K you found out, you have to check if this value of bearing modulus K is less than calculated ZNP or not. That value should be less than the calculated ZNP. Means the value which you have calculated in step number 4, that is your calculated Zn by P. Then you can say that the bearing will operate under hydrodynamic conditions. Because while we were doing Mackey's equation, I had told you that in that graph of coefficient of friction versus Zn by P, that bearing should not operate below the point A. So K is the bearing modulus minimum value at which oil film will break. So 3 times the bearing modulus, that much value of Zn by P we want. That's why we are checking, we are doing this step. So again, I'll repeat the steps till this step 5. What we have done till here, let us quickly start from the first step, so you don't forget anything that we have done. First step, choose or select L by D ratio, assume the value of D if it is not given, and then calculate L and D value. So first step is select L by D ratio and calculate length of the bearing and journal diameter value. Next step, you have to calculate pressure and check if this calculated pressure is less than given pressure or not. Third step, you are going to calculate operating temperature. If it is given, that's okay. Not given, you have to select it between 26.5 degrees C to 60 degrees C. Fourth step, you are going to calculate bearing characteristic number and check if the calculated bearing characteristic number is less than the operating bearing characteristic number, which is available on page 7.31 of PSG design data book. Next, you have to calculate bearing modulus K and check if this value of bearing modulus K is less than the calculated ZNP, which you have done in step number 4. Moving quickly to step number 6, you have to assume diametral clearance ratio. Capital C is your diametral clearance. Capital D is your journal diameter. So C by D is your diametral clearance ratio. So you have to assume that ratio. How to assume it? For journals of diameter 25 to 150 diameter, and mostly they will be between this only. For precision bearings, you will select that value as 0.001. For general machinery, you will select the value as 0.002. And for rough service machinery, you will select the value as 0.004. Usually, we will be having precision bearings only, like centrifugal pumps, like the one used in centrifugal pumps. So our C by D ratio, diametral clearance ratio, you have to always remember we will be taking as 0.0013 centrifugal pumps, right? But if you check the Mackey's equation, in Mackey's equation, the equation which is 0.326 Zn by P into D by C plus K. It is not C by D, it is D by C. So you'll have to do inverse of this. You'll have to take this value as 1.0013. This you are going to keep it over here. I hope you understood. If not, we will be doing one numerical ahead, and from there you will definitely be able to understand. But for now, you should understand that step number 6 is to assume the diametral clearance ratio C by D. Next step, you have to find the coefficient of friction from Mackey's equation, and the one is formula which is given on page 7.34 of PSG design data book is 3.25 upon 10 raised to 10 Zn by P D by C plus K. But why we will not be using this? Because the Z value is in centipoise. So instead of this value, we will be using the value of coefficient of friction as this one, 33 upon 10 raised to 8 Zn by P D by C plus K, where Z is in kg per meter second, pressure is in Newton per mm square. In this equation, Zn by P, आपको डाउट आएगा कि क्या यूज करें, ऑपरेटिंग वैल्यू सिलेक्ट करें या फिर कैलकुलेटेड ZNP करें. तो you have to put the calculated ZNP value in this equation. How to select the value of K? You have to take the value of K 0.002 for L by D ratios between 0.75 to 2.8. In the very start of this lecture, I have already told you that this is what you have to select the value of K. So in short, our 7th step is to find coefficient of friction mu from this Mackey's equation, right? What is this value of K called? K is called as the factor to correct end leakage. And this factor totally depends on L by D ratio. That's why in the first slide itself, I told you that our Mackey's equation is dependent on 3 variables: Zn by P, that is bearing characteristic number; L by D ratio, because this K value you have to take on the basis of L by D ratio and D by C, that is journal diameter to diametral clearance ratio. Now, moving on to our step number 8. You have to calculate heat generated from the equation which is there on page number 7.34 of PSG design data book. Hg is mu Wv. Mu kahan se milega? You have already found it in step number 7 from Mackey's equation. W is the load in Newton, which will be given to you in the numerical, and V is the velocity whose equation will be pi dn by 60 meter per minute. Remember this D value, you will not take it in mm here. You will be taking the value of D, journal diameter, in meters over here. Then only you will get the correct value of V, which you will put down over here. Then you will get the heat generated. Step number 8 is completed. Moving to step 9, you have to calculate heat dissipated. Heat dissipated, either you can do it from the equation, this which is available on same page, the page where heat generated was available, that is page 7.34 of PSG design data book, where heat dissipated is delta T plus 18 whole square by K into L into D, where delta T is nothing but the difference of temperatures of bearing minus temperature of surrounding air, and that we take as half into TO minus TA. Temperature will be in degree C, L will be in meters, D will be in meters. So this is called as Lash's equation. So heat dissipated, you have to calculate in step number 9. Either you can do it in this manner, or you can do it the one which I have explained in the heat balance or thermal consideration of bearing by this equation, which I am going to again explain you right now. But in the previous equation, Lash's equation, this K value, if in case you are using this equation, how will you calculate that K? Then that K you will take as 0.273 for well ventilated bearings and 0.484 for light or medium construction in still air, bearings which are used in still air. Centrifugal pumps, you should take the value as 0.273. The value of K you should use as 0.273. But unfortunately, we will not be using this equation. We will be using the other one, which I have explained you while heat balance or thermal condition, that is heat dissipated, is CATB minus TA, where C is the heat dissipation coefficient in Weber per meter square per degree C, which will be given into you in the numerical. A is our length of the bearing into journal diameter. The values you have to select in meters, that you should remember. TB is the temperature of bearing surface. TA is the temperature of surrounding air. And that you will be able to find out from this equation, half TO minus TA, where TO is the temperature of oil film. So C values has been determined experimentally by Lash as 140 to 420 for unventilated bearings and 490 to 1400s for well ventilated bearings. So C value, if it is not given, you'll have to select from this range. If the range is also not given, you'll always select well ventilated bearings and select the value of C in between this range. So this was our step to find out heat dissipation coefficient. Now, temperature T of oil film should not be more than 60 degrees. Otherwise, what will happen? The viscosity of oil will decrease rapidly. Viscosity ghat gayi, to the oil will not sustain, oil film will not sustain, temperature of oil film will not sustain. So you should remember that temperature should not be more than 60 degrees C. TO temperature should not be more than 60 degrees C. Moving ahead, step number 10 is to calculate the mass of lubricating oil. And that you can find out from amount of artificial cooling, which is Hg, heat generated minus heat dissipated. In step number 8, you have calculated heat generated, and in step number 9, you have calculated heat dissipated. So Hg minus Hd is mass flow rate into specific heat of oil into temperature rise in oil. mC0 delta T. This is the formula that you will have to remember. If specific heat of oil is not given, you'll be choosing it between 1677 to 2100 degrees C. Sorry, Joule per kg degree C. Now, I already told you that for us, the value will be this 1710. But in PSD design data book, the value of C is given 17100 kgf centimeter per kgf degree C. You'll have to convert it into Newton meter per kg degree C. So simply you will divide this value by 10. Then you will get 1710 very easily. So the value of this is given in the PSG design data book. Where is it given? It is given on page 7.34, this one. But you will have to just divide it by 10 and you will get the answer in joule per kg per degree C. Moving ahead, I have done this. What you have to do, I told you, simply you'll have to divide it by 10. अगर आपको पूरा कन्वर्जन नहीं करना है kgf सेंटीमीटर पर kgf डिग्री सी का जूल पर kg डिग्री सी में कैसे कन्वर्जन किया है वो मैंने आपको बताया. अगर पूरा नहीं करना है तो सिंपली आपको डिवाइडेड बाय 10 करना है तो आपको आंसर मिल जाएगा. None of the books has very clearly and very nicely explained the whole conversion like I have done over here, and I have only done this so that you all can understand and solve the numericals of Mackey's equation very nicely. Moving ahead, now we have completed all the 10 steps. Let us take this very important, asked frequently in GTU, this numerical. Let us solve it. So your doubts will be cleared as in how the Mackey's equation numericals are solved. Now see, the numerical says design a journal bearing for a centrifugal pump. This is very important for us. Which kind of bearing is used in which kind of machinery? So centrifugal pump. Load on the journal W is given, which is 20,000 Newton. Speed of the journal RPM N is given. Type of oil is SAE10, for which absolute viscosity Z, kg meter per second, किसका यूनिट होता है? एब्सोल्यूट विस्कोसिटी का. So Z is 0.017 kg per meter second And this is our temperature TO. Operating temperature is 55 degrees C, which I told you the range should be between 26 to 60 degrees C if not given. So here it is given 55 degrees. Ambient temperature of oil is 15.5 degrees C. Bearing pressure, maximum bearing pressure, P. This P is 1.5 Newton per mm square. Calculate the mass of lubricating oil, step number 10. For cooling, if rise of temperature of oil be limited to 10 degrees C. MCO delta T. तो वो जो delta T है, that is 10 degrees C. Heat dissipation coefficient C, which we are going to use in the formula of heat dissipated. C A TB minus TA, that formula which was there. So that C which we have to use is this heat dissipation coefficient 1232 Weber per meter square per degree C. So we have to calculate the mass, which is we have to calculate still step number 10. Let us start one by one. This is the given data. W is given, load, RPM is given. The TO, temperature, is 55 degrees C. Temperature of air is 15.5 degrees C. Z, 0.017 kg per meter second. Pressure, given pressure is 1.5 Newton per mm square. T, 10 degrees C. And C is heat dissipation coefficient 1232 Weber per meter square per degree C. Let us start with the numerical first step. The first step says you have to choose the L by D ratio, and the page number 7.31 from table, I have already told you that for centrifugal pumps, the L by D ratio is 1 to 2. Since the value is from 1 to 2, we will assume here L by D ratio as 1.6. So we are doing the first step. We are assuming, we are choosing L by D ratio as 1.6. Also here, they have not given the journal diameter. So I am assuming journal diameter as 100 mm. So if L by D ratio is 1.6 and if D is 100 mm, so 1.6 into 100, L will be 160 mm. So we have freezed the value of L and D, 160 mm and 100 mm. First step we have finished. Now, moving on to second step, that is to calculate pressure. Let us do it. Load is given 20,000. L, we have calculated right now 160. D, we have calculated right now 100. So the calculated pressure comes as 1.25 Newton per mm square. You can't stop here. You have to check whether the calculated pressure is less than the given pressure or not. And you can see here in our numerical, the given pressure, they have given us the maximum bearing pressure or allowable pressure is 1.5. And the one which we calculated is 1.25. So you can see here 1.25 is less than 1.5. So our pressure is safe. Hence the dimensions of length and bearing that we have calculated 160 mm and 100 mm, they are safe. So two steps are done. Next, we have to calculate the operating temperature, but already in our numerical, they have given us the operating temperature, that is 55 degrees C. You can see here. Type of oil is SE10, for which the absolute viscosity at 55 degrees C. This is our operating temperature. This is our ambient temperature, TA. But TO is our operating temperature. So no need to do the third step because already the third step is done. Operating temperature we have with us. Now moving on to the fourth step, we have to calculate bearing characteristic number. Z is given to us 0.017 kg meter per second. RPM, we have N as 100 RPM and pressure we have as 1.25 Newton per mm square. हमें यहाँ पे calculated pressure रखना है. Don't put given pressure. Since we are calculating Zn by P, you have to put here the calculated pressure. So 0.017 into 900 divided by 1.25. Calculated Zn by P is 12.24. 12.24. We have to compare it with the operating Zn by P from the table. So let us quickly go to that table and see that what is the value of operating ZnP. Though you have seen it, you can see here the value of operating Zn by P is 28.44. You can also see here the L by D ratio for centrifugal pumps we had selected as 1:2. So that's why we had selected, in between that we have selected 1.6. So all these things you can select from the PSD Design Data Book, page 7.31. Let us quickly move to our step again. We have calculated Zn by P as 12.24 and we have compared it with operating Zn by P as 28.44. Since calculated Zn by P is less than operating Zn by P, so we can proceed with the fifth step, that is to compare the values of calculated Zn by P with the bearing modulus. So let us first calculate the bearing modulus small k, 1/3 into operating Zn by P. Operating Zn by P is available on PSD Design Data Book for centrifugal pumps on page 7.31. So 1/3 into 28.44 we get as 9.48. So the value of bearing modulus is less than the calculated Zn by P, which we have done in step number 4. 9.48 is less than 12.24. Thus the bearing will operate under hydrodynamic conditions. The design is safe. Moving on, next step, we have to calculate the C by D, diametral clearance to journal diameter ratio. I have told you that for centrifugal pumps, we will always take the value as 0.013. तो D by C उल्टा, जो कि हमें इसकी वैल्यू मैकीज इक्वेशन में जरूरत पड़ेगी, we will require this value in Mackey's equation D by C. So since C by D is 0.013, तो उसका उल्टा D by C will be 1/0.013. Moving ahead, now we will use Mackey's equation. We will use this equation since, like I told you, if we will use the one which is there in PSD Design Data Book, there the Z is in centipoise. So we will not get the correct values. So hence we are using 33/10⁸ Zn by P into D by C plus K. Calculated Zn by P is 12.24. Right now we saw D by C is 1/0.013 and K we will always take as 0.002 based on the L by D ratio range, which I have previously discussed with you. So the answer is coming 5.10 into 10 raised to minus 3. So coefficient of friction is 0.0051. Step number 7 is done. Now moving to step 8, let us calculate heat generated. Mu WV formula is available on page 7.34. Mu अभी हमने मैकीज इक्वेशन से फाइंड आउट किया 0.0051. W load is given in Newton, 20,000 Newton, and V we will have to calculate pi dn by 60. The diameter we have is 100 mm. So when I convert it into meters, I will get as 0.1 meters. The conversion is done over here. So I'll put 0.1 meter over here into 900 divided by 60. The answer I'll get 4.71 meter per minute. The value I'll keep over here in this V. So I'll get the heat generated value as 480.7 watts or watts. Moving ahead, once heat generated is done, next is heat dissipated. Very quickly, heat dissipated value is CATB minus TA. C is given heat dissipation coefficient 1232 Weber per meter square per degree C. If it is not given, then for well ventilated bearings, I have also mentioned the range while we were discussing the step number 8 of design procedure of hydrodynamic bearings. You can go back and listen, and from there you can select the range. But here it is given 1232 Weber per meter square per degree C. Length we want in meters, so 160 mm का meters हो जाएगा 0.16 meter, 100 mm का हो जाएगा 0.1 meter. So area will be length into diameter. So this area will be L into D. TB minus TA, we have to take half into TO minus TA. TO is given 55 degrees C. TA is also given 15.5 degrees C. So TB minus TA will be 19.75. We just have to put this 1232 into 0.16 into 0.1 into 19.75. ये हो गया C, ये हो गया हमारा area, and this is our TB minus TA. So once we will do this calculation, we will be able to get heat dissipated as 389.3 watts. Very quickly, let us calculate amount of artificial cooling. But before that, you should understand that always heat generated should be greater than heat dissipated, which means bearing is warming up. So you should keep this in mind. So either the bearing will be redesigned and temperature should be taken 63 degrees C, or bearing should be cooled artificially. So if heat generated is greater than heat dissipated, artificial cooling should be done. An amount of artificial cooling is Hg minus Hd, that is 480.7 minus 389.3. Answer is coming 91.4 watts. Very quickly, to the last step of this numerical, we have to calculate mass of lubricating oil, and that we can calculate from the amount of artificial cooling is mass of lubricating oil into specific heat of lubricating oil into temperature rise in oil. अभी हमने calculate किया Hg minus Hd is 91.4. Mass of lubricating oil M. Specific heat is given over here in this numerical. If not given, then I have told you that on page number 7.34, specific heat of oil is given as 17100 kgf सेंटीमीटर पर kgf डिग्री सी, हमें जूल में चाहिए यूनिट, सो डिवाइडेड बाय 10 करेंगे तो हमें 1710 मिल जाएगा. बट व्हेन द specific heat value is not given, at that time you should select. Here it is given, so I'm putting 1900. Temperature rise in oil, that 10 degrees C is also given in our numerical. So M is the unknown value. I can find out as 0.0048 kg per second. Kilogram, masses unit is in kilograms, so kilogram per second value we found out as 0.0048. This is the end of the numerical.